I call Andrew Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and haven't we heard some weird and wonderful things tonight? I've heard earlier on that the Australian R&D tax system's much more simpler than the New Zealand system. Well, that's garbage, Mr. Speaker, I've got to say. I've just listened to that previous speaker talk about debt levels and tax rates for New Zealand. And Mr. Speaker, I just want to take the opportunity to deal with this debt issue that this previous speaker has just been talking about. He's claiming that this country has got a massive level of debt, and I just wish that this person would actually have an historical context to make a statement like that and actually look at some of the facts. So if we look at the facts today, Mr. Speaker, our current debt is 26% of GDP. By 2020, in 5 years' time approximately, it will be at about 20%. If you look at the lucky country, Australia, currently its debt levels are just about ours, but by 2020, same period, 5 years' time, that'll be just under 40%, i.e. twice New Zealand rate of debt. If we look at Europe and the UK, currently just over about 80% to GDP, and by 5 years' time, they'll be at that same level, which will again be 4 times our debt level, and we would be having a totally different conversation. And if we look at America, that place right that a lot of people like to talk about, current debt levels, Mr. Clark, you should stay and learn a little bit about debt if you're going to talk about it. Current debt levels in the US at the moment, 107% of GDP, expected in 5 years' time to be about 100%. 5 times New Zealand current debt. 5 times. And you are saying that New Zealand is out of control. Anywhere in the rest of the world, we'd be talking about how we're going to put up tax, how we're going to be reducing all that social expenditure. Well, Mr. Speaker, we are lucky to be in a situation through prudent management that we can be even talking about introducing R&D tax credits, dealing with black hole expenditure, all that good stuff to try and make this economy much more successful than where it is at the moment, and growing it even faster. So, Mr. Speaker, this bill actually has 4 key elements, and unfortunately we've only focused really today on R&D, but I'd like to say that it also deals with Child Support Act changes. It also deals with GST on body corporates, again something that people wanted. 13,000 body corporate owners have come to us. And finally, it deals with controlled foreign companies and foreign investment firms. Again, these are good tax measures, Mr. Speaker, comprehensive, and all part of driving this economy forward. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah. Members, the order now. This debate has concluded. So the question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it.
Taxation, Annual Rates for 2015-16, Research and Development and Remedial Matters Bill, third reading.
Call on Government Order of the